up his mind. So they declassified it from a Class B drug to a Class C drug, and now trying to move it back to a Class B drug. Class A drugs, for those of you who may not be familiar, carries a 7 years imprisonment of heroin, crack, cocaine. But obviously this becomes common norm and practice for us, because for us, because I'm a big daddy, isn't it? I'm a big daddy if I move the kilos, the keys, isn't it? The chubby of heroin that I move around. I'm a big daddy, that's who I am. So don't pick a bone with me. I'm a big trafficker, and I'm going to come to that man who's a trafficker and give you a message to remember for the rest of your life, inshallah. Like I said, the bullets I'm going to come with are different bullets. That's the bullets I'm going to come with. You're going to think about it for the rest of your life. So people who take drugs, they like to come and say, well, I only take small amounts to keep me mellow, keep me focused. I don't get stoned, so it must be halal for me. So they think we're some type of fools. That's what they think, to play games with us. Hadith inside Sahih Muslim, ما أسكر كثيره فقليله حرام. Whatever stones you in large amounts becomes haram in small amounts. The Sharia doesn't look that for you, I drink gallons of beer and then I get drunk, or I take a kilo of crack and then I get, well, you won't get drunk, you'll be probably dozed out your mind. Hallucinations, jumping off some building or something. Sharia doesn't say pick you and say you're free. The Sharia says whatever in large amount intoxicates you is forbidden in small amounts. Finish. Because the Sharia has maqasid, has purposes, 5 general purposes. To protect your mind, your body, your soul, your faith, your wealth, your honor, your dignity. Whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes something halal, look at it. It benefits your life, benefits your wealth, benefits your honor, benefits your dignity, benefits your religion, benefits your mind. Anything that's made haram in the Sharia, look what it does to you. Destroys your wealth, destroys your honor. Man taking heroin, lying on the floor like a dog, addicted to heroin, lying on the floor, picking up cigarette butts, chewing them because he's become a skaghead. That's how low our community's fallen down. When you see your own brothers falling on the floor, picking up small cigarette butts, begging from another Muslim to go get another wrap to inject themselves. A man wants to drive by in his flash car and think, yeah, I'm a big boy. When some people are serving these substances, there's a code of behavior. Never serve it up to another Muslim. Never ever in your life. Go down a long way. Go down a long way, but never ever get your own blood addicted to it. We've crossed over the rules. We've crossed over the boundary. Some of us, we think we're gangsters. Read about the gangster world. Read about the Gambini family. The Don Corleones that you want to be. Forget about Tony Montana, the Cuban drug dealer who came over. The real drug dealers, you read about the cartel. Man would never serve drugs in his life. Read the history of the gangland warfare. No real Italian mafia ever served drugs in their life. Any man caught trafficking drugs, then he was gunned down by the mafia. That's the ethics you will know about the gangland mafia. That's the reality. But obviously we turn and look at people like the Scarface. Muslim boys walking about with a picture of Scarface with a zoot in his mouth. Go and read the history of Scarface. Who was Scarface? Even read the history how he got the name Scarface. Some people say he got battered so much they called him Scarface, he hated the name. So he ended up dealing with a man. Another historians are right. He said something about next man's woman. Man turned around, scarred him up in his face. He can remember it for the rest of his life. He looks in the mirror. He said these evil statements. But what was the end of this individual? What's the end of all these individuals begins to take place inside their life? We begin to praise them, look up to them. That this is my lifestyle. Live by the gun, die by the gun. That's what some of us we think, isn't it? The gangster rap culture as well. Listening to these people. Man walking with his trousers hanging below his bottom. Think he's Tupac Amaru Shakur. Amaru means what? The shining serpent. That shining serpent is where now? Wrapped round his mouth. All eyes on me now, isn't it, Tupac? I get around, isn't it? Damn hell you get around. Gunned down, 1996, 4 times a drive-by shooting. hailed as the greatest rap artist that ever existed, selling 75 million albums, or 75 million recordings of his famous album being Machiavelli, when he got shot the first time and walked out and recorded it in 6 days. There may be some element of truth what the man writes about, but at the same time, majority of it just kufr. Leads on to what? Violence. A 19-year-old boy in Texas shot a sheriff. When they said to him, what drove you to kill this police officer? He said, listening to Tupac's track, Two Apocalypse Now, about gunning down the law. That's how some of us begin to think, isn't it? Listening to this, isn't it? That I'm above the law. What's the whole history? If you go back to the history, all begins with people like NWA, Niggas with an Attitude, Public Enemy, Ice-T, Ice Cube, coming back with all these other artists that begin to exist. Muslims, they think they're black. At least a black man, a Jamaican Yardi. Jamaican patois is his language, man. He's grown up in that language. He speaks Yardi because he's a Yardi. Since when have you been a Yardi, tutting your teeth, growing dreads, wearing a Rasta vest? Since when? Since when's that been your culture? That's man's culture. That's his lifestyle. That's how he conducts himself. You ain't no Jamaican Yardi. And when you pick beef with Jamaican Yardis, you know what happens to you anyway. You get put in your place and you drive back to your streets round here in Alum Rock, don't you? Don't travel out to Hanworth and deal with the situation, do you? Put your head down and drive back where you belong. Stay in your manner, you little boy. You ain't no bad boy if that's what you think. Because there's always going to be a badder boy than you out there. That's the reality. Most times you have to walk about with a peace behind you. You're worried about your life. That's what you're worried about. That next man's going to gun me down. Why is next man going to gun you down? Because you jack this, he jack that. Jacking each other. Forget about Trident, black on black crime. We've got now Muslim on Muslim crime. Police investigating amongst ourselves. Turf wars about drugs taking place. £40 million heroin connection in Bradford. I don't know how much exists in this community, but I wouldn't be mistaken. There is a lot of pimps, man. Grow up, will you? Racketeering and prostitution. Filth, that's what you are. You're a scum, bruv. You're a scum. I wouldn't spit on your face. My saliva's worth more than that, and you think you're a bad boy. That's how low you've become. Racketeering these substances. Getting your own Muslim youth addicted to it. Remember this one message in your life. Don't forget about the next man out there searching for you, looking for you. Think about those people you got addicted to these substances. I don't often get up and pray at night. That's my downfall. But I tell you one thing. If I knew somebody in my family got offered drugs because of you, and I know who you are, I'll make sure I get up every single night and I'll curse you till the day I die. And that's what a lot of mothers are doing upon you every single night. Remember those words. Every day you've been trafficking drugs inside this community, there's a poor mother out there who gets up every single night and says, may that person die a dog's death, who got my son, my daughter addicted to this crack, this junk. So that curse, that gun, that bullet of that mother stays with you for the rest of your life. That's going to be in the back of your head, in the back of your skull. You don't know what's going to hit you. Because you think you're a bad boy dealing it out in the streets. But those poor people thinking at home, they're praying every single night upon you that may you die a dog's death for getting my child addicted to these filthy substances. And that's a difficult life to live. You could bypass the feds. You could bypass them. You could be a smart criminal. You could do the law. You could bring evidences. You can hide it there. You can do that there. Don't think I don't know what happens, what takes place. You could bust it on next man. You can write the sentence of what you think. But there's going to be other threats. Other threats are going to haunt you. And those innocent individuals, they're going to be praying against you. And that's something difficult for you to do. And that's exactly what the verse mentions. وَمَنْ أَعْرَضَ عَنْ ذِكْرِي فَإِنَّ لَهُ مَعِيشَةً دَنْكَ. Whoever turns away from my dhikr, that person will have a wretched life. This ayah inside Surah Taha, whoever turns away from my dhikr will have a wretched life. What does it mean to have a wretched life? That's what most people think, that I've got a good life. You know, some people, when they're involved in these haram substances, they wouldn't put a dime on the table. They wouldn't buy food for their family members. Today we find these same people buy gifts for their family members, lavish them up, give their children haram, give their family members haram, and even try to come and thrust to the masjid, give some haram to the masjid. The end does not justify the means. Haram life does not legalize your actions. Don't try to come along and slip some money to the masjid and say, well, this is my contribution. You can't live a haram life and then try to justify it, that maybe I'm doing, at least I do something good. There's no concept of at least I'm doing something good. So that's the first thing. You're going to have a restricted life. وَنَحْشُرُهُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ أَعْمَى. We're going to raise him up in a state of blindness. Parents are going to say, why have you raised me up blind? قَالَ رَبِّ لِمَا حَشَرْتَنِي أَعْمَى وَقَدْ كُنْتُ بَصِيرًا. I could see in this dunya. Why have you made me blind? Because our signs came in this world and you turned away, you forgot them. وَكَذَلِكَ الْيَوْمَ تُنْسَى. Today you're forgotten by Allah. You turn away from Allah, Allah will forget you. Likewise, a person will say, woe upon me. What have I presented in my life? Woe upon me that I took so and so as a khalil, as a close friend. How many of us get involved in haram actions because of our friends? That's why you find a hadith. Be careful about who your friends are. Al-mar'u ala dini khalilihi. A man is on the religion of his friend. So let each one of you look at who your friends are. Many young boys, what do they say? Well, I just move about with this crowd. I just hang about. Whether it be Arcadia or Silver Queues or whatever else these places may be, just hang about there. I don't really do these things. Well, remember the example of the frog. Put a frog in boiling hot water, he never goes in it. Put him in cold water, and he feels he's at home. Put a Bunsen burner underneath it, begin to heat the water. Water begins to get hot, begins to simmer, begins to boil, begins to overpour. The frog doesn't jump out. The frog climatizes and he dies. So at the moment, you're in that pool with the rest of your friends. Yesterday, there were young boys who grew up with their hands, never touched a cigarette in their life. Moving about with this crowd, the next step we hear that they're out there serving these haram substances. It all began with just moving about with them. They're just my friends. I don't do anything haram. Just pass time with them. How can those individuals be your friends? How can a man be your friend and say to you, and you take these haram substances? Is that really a friend? But if I burnt my hands in my life, do I want my children to burn their hands? Do you want a fellow Muslim to burn their hands? Even the fuqaha, they write deep words. If a person is drinking alcohol, he gives the alcohol glass to his brother. Does he say, cheers? Drinks up, brother? Bottoms up? Is that what he says? You know the fuqaha, right? When he gives that haram substance to his brother, he should say, ittaqillah fi Allah. Because maybe he may abstain and give it up. To such a degree you're doing something haram, keep your haram to yourself. We all do something wrong or have bad habits, as they say. Why do you want to go and impress it upon other individuals? إن الذين يحبون أن تشيع الفاحشة في الذين آمنوا لهم عذاب أليم في الدنيا والآخرة. Those people who want to spread illicit, immorality, bad behavior amongst those people who believe, for them will be an evil chastisement inside this world and likewise inside the akhirah as well. So why do you want to be that type of person? I have a bad habit, I keep it to myself. I pray to Allah to come out of it. Why am I going around in society encouraging people to get involved in bad actions? And likewise the other fahisha that we find. Some young brothers come and say, well, I don't drink, I don't take drugs, I don't traffic them, I don't even listen to gangster rap, whatever it may be. Not that I do. Alhamdulillah, research, you have to listen to these snippets to understand what's taking place in a society, isn't it? DMX, flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood, hell is hot. Damn hell is hot, isn't it? Man suffers from bipolar depression or whatever he suffers from. Or 50 cents. Is it we look up to him, he's rich, get rich or die trying? Is it because man got shot 9 times? So you want to look up to him? You know, I have to use the expression. Some of us we think that we are obviously derogatory statement that I'm a nigger.